1961.
Now, new research has confirmed that ancient teeth found in Torquay in Devon are among the earliest remains of modern humans in Europe. New techniques were used to date the fossil, putting it at more than 40,000 years old, which is much older than previously thought.
Yeah, the research was published in the science magazine Nature, and we're joined here in the studio by Ewen, who's from Nature magazine. Hi, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
So, this makes it, well, it changes our view, doesn't it, of when humans were around in Europe?
It certainly changes our view of when humans were around in Britain and Northwest Europe. I mean, previously we thought this bone, this upper jaw bone, was about 35,000 years old, and now it's 7,000 years older than that. It's a lot of time.
And how can you be sure that it's 7,000 years older than they thought before?
Well, they've analyzed it using more up-to-date techniques. The original way they established it was 35,000 years old, was basically called radiocarbon dating. But it turns out that the fossil was contaminated with modern glues, animal-based glues that also have carbon used to assemble it. When they stripped off, when they stripped off those glues, they weren't able to analyze it, but they looked at fossils above it and below it using a new technique, and they found that those were around 42,000 years old. So that's basically how they came to this new date.
And so it says something about what was going on here. How does this compare with finds elsewhere and what was going on elsewhere?
All right, so 42,000 years old. I mean, this makes it one of the oldest human fossils in Europe. I mean, this is many thousand years earlier than we thought. So this is suggesting that modern humans, who left Africa, went to the Middle East very quickly, made it to Europe, and pulsed around Europe, made it around Europe very, very quickly. Early on, around 40,000 years ago. And I think we're going to see more finds like this.
And that means that humans and Neanderthals were kind of coexisting at the same time, we're kind of overlapping, is that right?
Very possibly, yeah. So the previous view had been that humans very quickly rushed into Europe and replaced Neanderthals, but these new dates are suggesting that maybe in some places there was a lot of overlap. We can't say for sure whether they met or not, but you're starting to see, several thousand, maybe up to 7,000 years in places where humans and Neanderthals lived together.
So that's pretty interesting. And would they have bred together? I mean, not that obviously you know.
Well, it's a question. That's an interesting question. And so we know for a fact that humans and Neanderthals interbred probably in the Middle East. And the question is, did it happen in Europe? And this larger window gives paleontologists and geneticists asking that question maybe places to look and ways to better ask their question. The other interesting aspect is, did humans contribute to the extinction of Neanderthals? I mean, if they overlapped for a while, it's possible they did, it's possible they didn't. So,
well, by killing them, or what?
Well, possibly directly, or they could have competed. They could have hunted a little bit better than Neanderthals. That's one possibility. So it could have been indirect. So this opens up a whole world of questions we can ask about how humans and Neanderthals potentially interacted.
Amazing, fascinating. Thank you very much for coming in and talking to us.
You're welcome.
And while we were talking, actually, we just heard some breaking news about rugby. The Rugby Football Union acting chief executive, Martin Thomas, is to step down from his post on the 16th of December following the end of his contract, the governing body has confirmed. So that just through to us. We'll